All right, so today we are going to jump right in and learn how to use Photopea. So you are going to be creating this guy right here. He is called Melon Head or Veggie Head. Okay, the title of your project is going to be Veggie Head. You can give him a name at the end if you would like, and use some typography and just kind of give him a name over here. What you're going to do is you're going to learn how to use the selection tools in Photopea. You're going to learn about layers. You're going to learn how to cut things out and place them onto a new document. You're going to learn how to download files from the internet and place them into your Photopea file. All right. So you can have fun with this. Don't be afraid to have fun. Just make sure that you keep it appropriate for school. So there are some themes that I found today while doing some research on this. I have done this project a couple times in the past, and the kids, you guys seem to love it. So um, I found a SpongeBob theme, which I thought was super cute. I don't know. Um, all right, so there's SpongeBob and Plankton and Gary and Patrick. All right, so they made a little SpongeBob veggie circus thing going on here. So be creative with it. Have fun. If you want to create a theme, that's up to you. You are only required to do one veggie, guys. Some of you may work super fast, and some of you it may take a little longer, and that's okay. It's all part of the process in learning. So what you're going to do, the first thing is you're going to go to photopea.com, and this is what it should look like when you open it up. This is the intro screen, and this is what it looks like. All right, so what we're going to do is in our Google Drive, I have shared with you these files. You're free to find your own if you'd like on the internet, but just know that these are available here for you to use. I am going to go ahead and download this one only because it has everything that I'm going to need right here. I don't need to go open up any other kind of files. I'm going to download it from the drive, and it's going to save it to my downloads folder on my computer. Now I'm going to go to Photopea, and the first thing I want to do here is create a new document. I'm going to go to File, New, and I'm going to name it VeggieHead. I want to size it 8.5 inches, 8.5. This is where you change it to inches. When you first open Photopea, it's probably set to millimeters or pixels. Make sure it's always set to inches. I want my width to be 8.5 and my height to be 11. So that's a regular size piece of paper. Dots per inch or DPI, I'm going to set to 150, and make sure your background is white for right now. And then I'm just going to hit create. All right, so it gave me this document. First thing I want to do is set my transform controls. I want to turn that on. This way I can adjust my veggies as I place them onto my document. All right, so now I'm going to open up that file of vegetables I downloaded. So I'm going to go to File, Open, go to my Downloads folder, and I'm going to just either double click or hit Open, and it will open up my document. Now I have two tabs, just like your web browser. I have my VeggieHead, and I have my VeggieHead PSD file, which is my blank document. So this is where I'm going to cut out all of my objects. All right, so I'm going to use my pan tool or my hand tool to just kind of drag this around. Is it going to drag it? No, because I've already zoomed in. Okay, just kidding. Back to my move tool. The letter V is a shortcut to pick your move tool. I'm going to start by selecting this watermelon. Tools we're going to use today are your rectangular and ellipse select, lasso, polygonal, and magnetic, object selection, quick selection, magic wand, and possibly your crop tool. And just so you guys know, you may get some lag when you're using Photopea, and that's because it's an online program. It can be a little slow. Just be patient with it. We'll work through it. All right, so I want to make a selection around my watermelon. So if I use the rectangular select and I click on that, if I click and drag around my watermelon, it's going to give me a rectangular or a square around it, right? What I want to do is cut it out. I don't want that white surrounding my watermelon. So that's not the tool that I want to use. So I'm just going to deselect it. You can either go to select and deselect, and the shortcut, it says control and the letter D. So I can either hit that, deselect, and it will deselect it, or I can hit the shortcut control D to deselect. You guys might want to write these shortcuts down too until they get in your head. All right, so let's try one of these tools. I could use the lasso select. It did not grab it. Sorry about that. So just make sure that it grabs the tool that you're looking for, lasso select. So this is a freehand tool, right? So I can draw a lasso. My hand's pretty shaky. It's not going to be right against the edge. I still have that white. I don't want that. So I'm going to deselect that. Let's try the polygonal lasso. All right, so what does this one do? This one draws a straight line. And obviously my watermelon has a round shape. No straight lines here, so I don't want that one. Your magnetic lasso tool is going to act like a magnet around the edges of the pixels. So if I just click, this is where the lag might come in. I've noticed on this tool, it takes a minute for it to think about what it's doing. So if I just click and hold that click down while I'm using my finger to drag around the edges, I'm on a Chromebook. I want to make sure that all of the projects we do, you're able to do at home as well. So you're going to go back to your starting point and let go and click. That gave me a really great selection around my watermelon. We call those little things around it marching ants. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy it. I'm going to copy whatever's in that selection. So just like every other software, Control C will copy, and I'm going to go to my blank document and Control V should paste. Okay, so my watermelon is a little too big for my document. So what I need to do is go to my Move tool, and I'm going to get these transform controls around the edges. If you don't see this, make sure that this box right here is checked. I'm going to hold the Shift key, and I'm going to drag in from the corners. This is really important. I need you to hold the Shift key. If you don't hold the Shift key, you're going to get this. And this is what I don't want you guys turning it. Okay. I know that it's funny when you create memes and they're all squishy and weird looking, but this is a graphic design class, and first and foremost, I'm teaching you to be professional. Okay, there's time and place. So I don't mind if you create memes after your projects are done, but please don't turn in squishy photos in my class because I will reject them. Especially if I know that you're doing it on purpose, I'll make you redo them. Okay. I'm all about memes and being silly, but for your projects, they need to be turned in correctly. Okay, so no squishy photos. Hold the Shift key and drag in from the corner. Okay, just like this. Holding Shift and I'm dragging from the corner. All right, so there's my melon, my starter, my face. All right, so I'm going to go back to my tool or my vegetables, and I'm going to deselect, Control D, and that'll release that selection around my watermelon. So for my eyes, I'm going to, let's say, I'm going to use the carrot. So let's go with the carrot first. I'm going to try a different tool. I'm going to use let's try the magic wand. So if I click on the magic wand and I come back over here and I just click on my carrot, it didn't select it how I was hoping, right? It only made a selection on the bright orange areas, and that's not what I want. So I'm going to deselect that, and I'm going to try something else. What if I did the object selection? So these tools are all about experimenting and finding out what works best. In Photoshop and Photopea, there's probably 10 ways to do one thing. Okay. um, 10 different tools to do the same process. So that one worked pretty good. So object selection. All I did was clicked and drug my selection around, made sure that it was covering the entire area of my carrot. And I did a great job. I'm going to copy that, Control C, go over to my, and then Control V to paste. All right, so it's a little big. Again, I need to resize it. So I'm going to hold the Shift key. Actually, before I resize it, I'm going to make a copy so I can resize both of them at the same time. I'm going to show you how to do that. I've already selected it from this one, right? So it should still be on my clipboard. I'm going to I'm going to paste it again, Control V. And now if you notice over here, I went from having a background layer to having a watermelon, and now I have two carrots, right? So I need to line these two up. We're going to learn how to use the alignment tool. So if I select layer 3 and layer 2, I'm going to hold the Shift key and click on layer 2, and that will select both layers at the same time. Your alignment tool is up here. This is going to align these two things so they overlap on top of each other, both vertically and horizontally. So I'm going to center it horizontally and center it vertically. And now they're right on top of each other. They're still both selected, and that way I can resize both of them at the same time so they both have the same shape or constrained to the same size. Holding the Shift key, I'm going to pull in from the corner and just drag. Then I'm going to just click off onto the white area. Actually, I'm going to go to my Move tool. Sorry about that. And then I'm going to click on just the first layer, layer 2. All right, so that now with just layer 2 selected, I can drag this over here. And now they're both the same size. All right, so if I wanted to move this one, I would click on layer 3 and just adjust it. I'm going to go back over and give him, oops, wrong one, the center part of his eye. So deselect, and then I'm going to let's use that one again. I like that one. To drag, click and drag across. Again, it's a little bit laggy, and that's okay. All right, good. Control C to copy, go back over here, Control V to paste. All right, so I wanted to kind of fit right over on top of my carrot. I don't want it to be that big though. I want it to size it down. So I'm going to make another copy of it. So I'm going to go to V to paste again. And I am going to align those two again. So select both of them, hold the Shift key and select both blueberries and align them. Now they're both lined up, and I'm going to resize, hold Shift, pull in from, oop, okay, so see what happened? It grabbed my watermelon. I don't want that, so I'm going to hold the Shift key again and just click on that watermelon layer. Now I need to go back to layer 5. Select layer 4, hold the Shift key and select it. And then I'm going to hold the Shift key, and hopefully this will work. Pull in from the corner. There we go. All right, so I'm just going to adjust it. I need to zoom in. Control and the plus key is the shortcut to zoom in. I'm just going to place them right on top of the center. And I'm going to go back over here, select layer 5, and drag it over on top of my carrot. All right, so there are my eyes. Now I need to find a nose. Let's see which one is going to work for the nose. Let's use the pear. So let's try, I think this object selection tool is working pretty well for us. So let's continue to use that. So Control C, Control V. All right, so this one may need a little bit resizing, just a little. Hold Shift, pull in. All right, there we go. That looks pretty good. All right. Oh no, okay. Click over here, deselect, and now I need a mouth. So let's use this melon. Let's try that tool again. It's working pretty good. If you find a tool that works for the job you need, there's no need to switch. As long as you're getting all of the edges and it's not cutting anything off, making it look really weird. Let me show you an example really quick. So if I did this, I'm going to deselect. I'm going to click on the lasso tool. Okay, I'm just going to make a rough selection around and show you what I do not want. I do not want it to look like this. I'm going to paste it over here. All right, this is what I don't want. I don't want you to just do a rough selection just to get it over with, okay? I don't want to see any of this white area. I should just see the melon. All right, so I'm going to delete that and go back over and grab it again. Deselect. So like I said, this object selection tool is working pretty good. I think this is a new tool in Photopea. Control C, Control V, go to your move tool and adjust it. All right, so he's looking pretty good, right? Okay, so this is just the base of my melon head. You guys are going to actually create a melon head with hair, ears, and a body. Okay, and then you're going to put them on vacation. You're going to take them on a virtual vacation. So I'm going to go ahead and pause it here, and then I will come back when my guy is finished to show you how to flatten your layers and put him on a virtual vacation. Okay, really quick, I wanted to come back and show you. So I was going to give him some broccoli hair, right? But when I placed my broccoli, it put it in this weird position. So I want this stem piece to go behind my broccoli. So what I'm going to show you is how to move your layers. I'm going to click on this layer of my broccoli and I'm going to drag it. You can adjust and drag your layers in Photopea to make them sit behind objects. So if I drag it behind the watermelon, now it just kind of looks like it's behind him, right? It's not, okay. So something else I could do is possibly cut a piece of that broccoli out. So let's move that and say I wanted it to look like this, but I don't want the stem part. What I'm going to do is you can use your eraser tool, which is right here. Make sure you're on that layer. And my brush is really small. So I have a kind of a larger area that I need to erase. And this would take me forever if I used a brush that was this small. So what I'm going to do is increase my brush size. To increase your brush size, you're going to go right here and you can adjust it either by using the slider. You can type in a number, or which gives you a pretty decent brush size, right? Another option is to use the bracket keys. The bracket keys are on the keyboard located next to the letter P. The left bracket will make your brush smaller, and the right back bracket will make your brush larger. I prefer using the bracket keys because it's an easy shortcut. All right, so that was just something I wanted to throw in there. Now I can adjust my Okay, back for the final step. So I've got my veggie head created. I have my ears, my eyes, my nose, my mouth, and my hair. Okay, you guys are going to give him a body, and you can give him a hat if you want, maybe some sunglasses. I don't know. All right, so with that done, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take all of these layers and I'm going to flatten them into one layer. So I'm not going to need my background layer. So I'm just going to leave that alone for right now. So all of these layers are my veggie head. I'm going to select my first layer, just click on it. I'm going to drag my move tool up. I'm going to hold the shift key and click on my very last layer. This selected all of my layers on my face. Now what I want to do is I'm going to merge these layers together. I don't want to merge my background layer, so I should just have my face selected. I'm going to right click and then I'm going to go to merge layers. Okay, once I do this, I can't move anything. I cannot move any of those pieces on my veggie head. They're all together now. They're flattened. We flattened that layer. Okay, so you need to make sure that everything is in place before you do this, before you merge those layers. All right, now I'm going to put him on vacation. So I'm going to go do a Google search for an image. Remember, I told you we're going to utilize our class website. So that's what we're going to do right now. We're going to go to our website. We're going to go to class resources, and eventually you guys won't need to do this because you'll know where to find them. And then I'm going to go to stock photo sites. I'm going to look for the stock photo sites that I've listed. They're the first 5 here. Okay. I'm going to go to Pixabay. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to look for a picture of Disneyland. I'm going to put him at Disneyland. Just going to hit enter and look for that photograph. Okay, so there's a lot of options here, right? A ton. So where do I want to put my melon head? Let's see. Let's put him in front of the castle. Let's use this one. All right, so you're just going to click on the image that you want to use, hit free download, hit download. I'm not a robot. All right, so this is going to download it to my downloads folder. And I suggest when you guys are done with your projects that you go through your downloads folder and delete all of the images that you've downloaded just to free up some space on your computer so you don't take up any room. All right, so I'm going to place that picture that I just found of Disneyland behind my guy. So I'm going to go to File, and I'm going to go to Open and Place. Go to my Downloads folder and hit Open. All right, so there's my picture of Disneyland. I'm going to just make it fit both sides, hold the Shift key, and make it a little bit bigger. All right, there we go. All right, so it placed it on top of my layer 5, which I don't want, right? So I'm going to click on that layer and drag it below layer 5. Now Veggie Guy is at Disneyland, where I wish I was. So go ahead and adjust him. Obviously, yours is going to have legs, right? And a body. Okay, perfect. We'll just make him sit in the little alcove right here on the bench. Okay, perfect. All right, there is my Veggie Guy on vacation. Now I'm going to save it. I'm going to go to File, and I'm going to export it as a JPEG file. All right, so I'm going to go to JPEG, and it's going to bring this up. I'm just going to go ahead and leave all of this default and hit save, and it downloaded my VeggieHead. Now, if I go to my downloads folder, it's right here, and there we go. You are going to upload your Veggie Guy or VeggieHead to Google Classroom. That is your assignment. Okay, so he must have two sets of eyes, or I'm sorry, a set of eyes, a nose, a mouth, a set of ears, some hair, and a body. And then you're going to put him on vacation in a background. Okay, so today we've learned to use selection tools, we've learned to use layers, we've learned to adjust layers and move them around. All right, so I hope this project was fun. If you guys work through this really quick, please feel free to make a theme like that SpongeBob theme I showed you at the beginning. If you are working a little bit slower, that's okay. Sometimes it takes us a minute to figure out what we're doing in these new programs. Just make sure that you let me know if you're going to be late or you're having trouble. Please reach out to me if you're having any issues at all.